Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I would like to talk about one of the most inspiring stories in the history of luxury fashion, and it's about Gabriel Chanel. So let's get into that. If you want to build a brand, you need to think like a creator. Not only a creator of your brand, but also a creator of your own story. And do you have the audacity to do that? 2 days ago, I went to the Chanel exhibition at the V&A London, and while strolling through the spaces, I was reminded why I fell in love with the story of Gabriel Chanel in the first place. Although I do love her creations, they are gorgeous, especially some of the dresses from the 1920s and 60s. I'd wear them myself today. But what really inspired me was her approach to life and what she was able to achieve. And in this video, I want to share with you 5 things that really stood out to me in her story and which you can apply in your life as an entrepreneur or entrepreneur to be. Number 5 is my personal favorite and probably the most important one. My name is Kira and I specialize in high-end brands and analyze what's going on in the market. So let's get straight to it. Point number 1 is Chanel wasn't liked by everyone, and she was okay with that. She wasn't a people pleaser, and she was unapologetically herself. And that was one of the things that brought her her fortune. Let me explain what I'm getting at. I noticed that all too often creators tend to hide behind their creations. They don't want to be seen, whether that's their background, the fear of family judgment or criticism. And this stops them from growing in certain areas of their business or from starting in the first place. Now, the thing is, not everyone will agree with you with what you think, do, or create, and that's absolutely fine. Now, Chanel was her true self, and she found people who loved her for that. Now, if you are creating a brand, but you want to stay behind the scenes, in the shadow, now it's for you to decide how much appearance you want to make. You don't have to be out there all the time, although some of you may love it, but some participation will be necessary because there will be people who will identify with your background, your story, your struggles, and it'll make your business, your brand even more interesting and appealing. Point number 2 is she wasn't accepted by the aristocracy as being one of them, despite her success, and even though she was hanging out with them in their circles and brushing shoulders with many of them. But still, she was an outsider. So what she did was she carved out a piece of her own space, found her place under the sun, and created her own circle of friends. So artists, writers, composers, socialites, basically the misfits of the time, who then became one of the most influential individuals in history and turned out to bring some incredibly transformative forces to the world of music, art, theater, and dance. The point here is create your own circle of friends and acquaintances who will support you and inspire you, who will accept you for who you are. And don't let them go. Don't lose touch with them. I mean, don't be toxic, of course, but you know what I mean. I'd like to close this point with a quote. Gabriel famously said, "My life didn't please me, so I created my life." The next point is she supported emerging arts. You may ask, what does this have to do with this topic? Well, let me explain. It's not a secret that in the beginning, Chanel was kept, and her first investment and business advice came from her lover. Such were the times. Today, she'd probably take out a loan. No chance of that in the early 1900s, though, especially for a woman, especially from her background. But again, money on its own is not enough. We all know examples of wasted wealth. You need other ingredients to make the sauce work. Anyway, she made it happen and became independent, and it was time to give back. I don't actually think she saw it that way, but we can definitely learn from it. She supported financially the endeavors of her friends, such as Dagilev's ballets. So what we can take from this is that It's important to have some sort of support in the beginning. Today, it usually comes in the form of mentorship, grants, and advice. And once we're standing on our own feet, we reach a point where we want to either pass down that knowledge to someone else or we want to give back in some way. Philanthropy, angel investing, foundations, advice, or mentorship. Also, what is amazing about the high-end sector is that it promotes crafts and handmade stuff and keeps craftsmen in the workforce, doing what they love and preserves the crafts and skill. The next point is she had a style. And if you want to build your own brand, you need to create your own style and do things in style. To have your own style is to have something unique about you. Maybe your signature hairstyle or the way of dressing. It doesn't have to be something super unique or bizarre, especially if you have more of a low-key nature, but something that'll make people associate your appearance with that detail. Now, in terms of doing things in style, I'm referring to the inner dynamics of the individual and her actions and the way she handles things rather than to ostentation. And we've reached number 5, my personal favorite, iron work discipline. Self-discipline isn't a punishment, but a temporary discomfort that will lead you to achieve long-term goals. It can literally change your life. But why do so many of us find it so hard? Let's look at Chanel and why she was able to do it. First of all, she had a clear goal. She wanted freedom and independence. Considering these things were hard to obtain for a woman in those times, that is, if you wanted to have not only an independent but also a comfortable life, I think that was motivation enough. Then, she had set her priorities clear. She was genuinely fed up with wearing tight corsets and funny hats that looked like flower beds. She was on a mission to make things easier, at first for herself and then for others. One of her famous quotes says, "How many cares one loses when one decides not to be something, but to be someone." This points me to the fact that if you set your mind to it, make a decision, set an intention, whatever you call it, you will find ways to do it. So in order to succeed, we need to develop this elementary thing that is so simple but not always easy. Still self-discipline. It'll set you free once you master it. One other thing I'd like to mention is Chanel said, "I was a peasant girl who knew absolutely nothing about anything." And the moral of the quote is that we can learn things. So there you have it, 5 things that we can learn from Gabriel Chanel. If you would like to know more about the high-end market, how it operates, and would like to build your own brand, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out the description box below. Thanks for watching. Bye.